Want to know how to make $10,000 a month creating primary trade lines amounting to 100K plus? You're about to learn the step-by-step process to this lucrative data furnishing business, this hustle that people think is impossible to break into. We're talking about getting approved to report positive credit in record time, creating and selling primary trade lines that's worth six figures, building a business that credit repair and that credit funding businesses desperately need right now. And the best part about this, you don't need any complex financial background information. You don't need to navigate endless red tape. It's just you, the right information, and the right system that's proven to work. The next few minutes, I'm going to walk you through exactly how you can start your own data furnishing business from scratch. You'll discover the legal loopholes to getting approved as a data furnisher, how to create and sell 100K plus primary trade lines, and the exact e-learning platform that I get my clients on to learn this information that's untapped. So if you're ready to tap into a niche that's begging for new players, keep watching and stick around. You're about to learn how to build a business that not only makes you money, but helps people worldwide improve their personal credit worthiness, and their funding options for personal credit. Before we dive into the nitty gritty, we got to understand the basics of data furnishing. Data furnishers, they're a company. It's an entity that is approved by a credit bureau that's authorized to report credit to somebody's credit report. They have the power through that authorization from the credit bureau themselves because they're part of their program. That data furnisher, they can report credit cards, lines of credit, auto loans, personal primary trade lines that are real, actual, usable credit that a lender, if they pulled that person's credit report, that lender can mark and actually use to gauge their approval, whether or not that person got that credit product or not. And that's a usable, actual meaning weighted credit account that you, because you're a data furnisher, you have the ability to acquire and actually create for real. So now this is value that, because you have this real legitimate power now, customers will literally line up around the block and give you whatever and pay you whatever to have you do for them. You're literally creating real credit out of your own company. It's how you set up your business so you can get this data furnishing hustle on. You want to have an H corporation and you want to buy an H corporation. If you have a corporation that's been sitting on a shelf you've personally had, that's just been collecting dust, that meets my criteria that I'm about to tell you right now, even better. You don't have to buy an H corp. The range for the H corp is about $2,500 to maybe $4,000. The sweet spot to find a real good H corp. If you find one for less, say if you have a plug before you even met me, before you found this right information that you just got to connect for good, real H corps for, that's even better. Just get an H corporation that has a vague name that's under my name that I tell you right now, and that's Enterprises Inc. That's your company name. It has to be vague like that. And I'm going to explain after this initial setup protocol I'm telling you about right now. Now, once you have your H corporation, what you want to do, you want to get a virtual address. Go to a company that sells virtual addresses like anytimemailbox.com, a vendor that's a vetted, trusted online merchant for virtual addresses. That website, it'll give you a virtual address that is linked to a professional building that's located at a professional area. That's going to make the perception of your business's reputation, its appeal as a professional reputation. It's going to create a professional appeal. Very important. You want to now have that address in place virtually, bypassing a physical lease. You don't have to spend money having to pay rent to keep up your office, your physical office. All right. So that's going to save you money. Now you want to go and get an online website to create an online presence, which is where a lot of the application process to becoming a data furnisher, that's the manner that you're going to be vetted by these reps that's going to be at these bureaus. They're going to be looking at your business from a virtual standpoint, more so than a physical, I'm going to inspect your business physically standpoint. So there's their advantage of where my protocol, the effects can take place to help you become this data furnisher. So you want to have this online presence, set up a templatized website builder platform type of website going on Squarespace or GoDaddy or any type of website template builder website, and you want to go and set up a modeled design when you're setting up your website, you want to make sure that it models a finance company, like a Kickoff, like a Credit Strong, something that reflects that you offer a finance program to help people finance a credit product that you have. You have a certain type of credit products, and once they go through that finance program and they are qualified, you can approve them. And you're legally, because they gave you permissible purpose to report and write up credit information and say things about them to the credit bureaus through them applying, opting into your application, your finance program, you are now in the position as this correct data furnisher that can report all of that information and keep up with updating on that information about that person to their credit bureaus every single month now, okay? Starts out with you having your own website, your own legitimate presence like that. And now you write up, just like Kickoff, Credit Strong, you use that modeled website to pretty much design every single type of credit account you're saying you offering, everything. The design down to the copy, how you write and how you type, the words you use, everything has to relate to a finance industry, okay? That issues credit to somebody. Now, once you got that, your own business website, you want to have a business presence on Yelp and on listyourself.net. Two new websites that I'm just mentioning. Yelp, you want to create a business profile on that platform. This is going to expand your online presence. It's all about this in this part of this whole video. This is online presence. You want to now have this, it's for all for free too. Have this on Yelp. And you just write up general information about your nature, the business that you're going to be doing. Just say professional services. That's what I always label up my data furnishing businesses. I just say professional services when I'm creating that profile on Yelp. The next platform, it's listyourself.net. Now, listyourself.net, it's like Yellow Pages. It's just going to create that effect when you put your profile, create that on listyourself.net. It's going to take your creative profile and it's going to blast that into their database of all their connections and all who they're affiliated with and all who's on the internet. It's an omnipresent effect that listyourself.net creates. Once you create your profile, it's going to do all the presence online, that building, all for you. You feel me? So now you have your online presence. Now the next steps after that is you requesting to apply as a data furnisher. You having your policies and procedures of how you'll be managing all that credit you reported, the disputes that potentially can arise if a person that you have reported on behalf of, let's say they disputed that credit account that you said was theirs and they said it wasn't theirs. Now you have to manage handling those disputes and the policies and procedures around you handling those situations that needs to be displayed. It needs to be communicated to these credit bureaus. They need to see that you understand the workings and the processes of what's required as a data furnisher. You know what I'm saying? Every single month, if you're reporting like that to these credit bureaus. Otherwise, you're not going to be compliant with the Fair Credit Reporting Act and the whole protocol and regulation around reporting credit. And they're not going to feel comfortable approving you as a data furnisher. You want to be professional in that area. And that's very important that you have a document that templatizes all of that information that tells them that you are professional and that you do know the policies and the moving parts around handling disputes. And I have a template that inside my data furnisher community, my business school, you can access, and I'll have that all inside in-house. Once you're part of my community, you're a member. Now, the next step after that, man, you're good to go. You want to just start emailing. They're going to call you initially after you request to apply as a data furnisher, this discovery call. You want to tell them, hey, you're in the finance industry and you're reporting revolving credit accounts, you're reporting installment accounts, and that's the type of company, type data furnisher, you're going to be creating information and reporting. That's the type of information you're going to be saying. And so it's a lot of jargon and information that's further in that data furnisher business school that I want to get into too much right now, but yeah, that's how you set up the business. Let's move on to creating primary trade lines. The definition of what a primary trade line is. It's just a credit account that you see when you look at your credit report. You see all of those credit accounts that posted that hit your credit report, whether if it's a positive credit account or a derogatory account, like a collection. Those, both of them, They're both primary trade lines because you are the owner of that account. You are the primary account holder. Now let's talk about the value around what's so important about this type of credit account. These are the accounts that really matter. When a lender is pulling your credit report, when you requested for a credit product from theirs, they're looking at those accounts. And we're looking negatives and the positives. But what gets people approved, it's the positive primary trade lines that as a data furnisher, because you have this power to create credit, you can write up, depending on the type of data furnisher you are, a positive credit account that shows up and it's real, it's actual, it's a provable, usable credit account that shows up on your recipient's credit report, on your client's credit report. And now the lender, when they pull that client of yours credit report, they're going to see the real legitimate primary trade lines you as your data furnisher business, your business reported. And because they see it's a business that has approved them for that credit amount, they're going to feel more comfortable and they're going to approve your client because of that. Valuable. And any person that sees a data furnisher that can do that, the value around that creation that you as a data furnisher can do, you can charge handsomely and they will pay you handsomely for that. So that's the values why it's so important. How you create primary trade lines that amount to 100K plus. It starts with having a Metro 2 credit reporting software. I use M2 Reporter. This is a company that specializes in the infrastructure that allows you to write up accounts in code that correspond up with the right types of codes that credit is created from. It's all just a language of codes. Metro 2, credit, they're powered from off of each other. Credit is created from the coded language of Metro 2. And the Metro 2, you need the software that Metro 2 powers to write up all of those codes. Now, these are the moving parts. That's what is the overview of creating primary trade lines. And now that's reported to the credit bureau. And that credit bureau now takes all of those codes that you, in your file that you submitted to their database, all the codes that's in all of those things, they dissect it and extract that now onto people's credit reports. And now that's reported and it's now posted. And now people see that their trade lines that they paid you for, it hit their credit report. That's the overview right there. Now let's talk about building your client base. The client base from scratch. It's super simple. You leveraging other people's audience. You have a credit repair business, a credit funding business, a business that's interconnected with what you're helping people, the niche that you're in, which is credit. The credit space that they're in. They're already having clients that need primary trade lines. You, because you're the plug, you have the specialization that can create primary trade lines. You can just plug in with any niche that works with building credit, that works with restoring credit. Now you can partner up with these companies because you're a company. And now you can pretty much be an independent contractor that is a vendor to their companies. And now you can get your percentage, your processing fee of processing up, writing up accounts that show up on their clients' credit report. And you can get a fee off of every one of those transactions, every one of those requests. And now you have conglomerate, you have a monopoly of constant, partnership opportunities amongst different credit repair companies, different credit funding companies. So that's your client base build up from scratch. That's the strategy. You parlaying and partnering up, leveraging other people's audience. With the value that you have, you can report primary trade lines. They need that for their clients. So here's how you can scale your operation. Let's move on. Automation is the key. And here's how you automate. You want to use an automation tool such as an SMS marketing tool that messages all of your potential clients or existing clients. And you can get them onto your system of messaging them in an automated manner. Flows of text messages, scheduled, hitting their phones. You can set up that marketing tool through using Klaviyo, a marketing platform that does email and SMS marketing, automations, the whole 9 yards with SMS especially. And you can now have an opt-in page, which can act as your credit application opt-in starting point for people who want to request for your service of putting primary trade lines on their credit report. You have credit products. That's what a primary trade line is. And you would now have, because you're a data furnisher, you're in-house, you're this finance company, you can act like a finance company. And what do finance companies do? They vet out every potential customer that requests for their credit products. And you need a credit application for that. And then a whole process that walks them step by step from, look, they requested and now they are waiting. They're awaiting a decision if they got approved for that credit product or not. That's what your mindset has to be when it's scaling. You have to have a whole system for approving people or declining people and having a cycle for that every month report update that you're going to be making to every one of the existing customers you're reporting for or the potentials that are in an influx requesting for your credit product. You know what I'm saying? Because the word's going to get out there this data furnisher, you're approved to report positive credit as this independent, away from these banks and, these these credit unions. You're this independent finance company. People are going to take heed of the fact that you can report this and have this power, and they're going to be lining up in no time. Watch when that first round hits in your credit report, all these trade lines hit all of your customers' credit report. They're going to go crazy. So there you have it, the blueprint for starting your own data furnishing business. But here's the thing, knowing what to do is only half the battle. The real challenge, actually implementing these steps and getting your first clients. And that's where Data Furnishing Business School comes in. Inside, you'll get the step-by-step video tutorials, a done-for-you template, and access to a community to like-minded entrepreneurs. And if you don't make $10,000 per month creating 100K primary trade lines and 250 days max, I'm going to pay you $3,000. Interested? Click the link in the description to learn more, and I'll see you inside that community. Peace.